Most people are broken before they're even tested. They'll tell you that resilience comes from positive thinking, from mindfulness, from affirmations in the mirror. They're lying. The truth? Your mind has a vulnerability they've weaponized against you. A psychological exploit that runs so deep, you don't even know it's there. And the people who understand this, the ones who've weaponized their own psychology, they don't break. They don't crack. They don't even bend. By the end of this video, you will understand the 3 psychological mechanisms that separate the unbreakable from everyone else. And more importantly, you'll know exactly how to become one of them. Let's begin. The ownership trap. Society tells you, take responsibility. Own your mistakes. That's what makes you strong. Sounds noble, right? It's also a trap. Here's what they don't tell you: unlimited responsibility without power is psychological slavery. You're taught to own everything, your failures, your circumstances, your suffering, while being stripped of the actual power to change them. You carry the weight. They control the outcome. The red pill truth. Unbreakable people do something different. They make a surgical distinction: they own their response. Not their circumstance. Not others' actions. Not the past. Their response. That's it. This is critical. A victim owns the trauma. An unbreakable person owns the choice about what that trauma means. 2 entirely different psychological architectures. When you own the circumstance, you're trapped in a logic loop: if I caused this, then I'm broken. But when you own only your response, you've positioned yourself with absolute power in a limited domain. And that domain is the only one that matters: your next move. The pain integration protocol. The blue pill lie. They tell you, feel your pain. Process it. Heal it. And you try. 4 months. Years. Pause, the pain is still there. So you conclude you're broken. You're not healing right. You're not broken. The instruction manual is broken. The red pill truth. Unbreakable people don't try to eliminate pain. That's a fool's errand. Pain is neurologically wired into your survival system. You can't delete it. Instead, they do something neuropsychologically brutal: they integrate it as information, not as identity. Here's how the nervous system actually works: pain comes in. Your brain tries to categorize it. If you're weak, you categorize it as, this is who I am. Identity wound. If you're strategic, you categorize it as, this is data I needed to survive. Signal. The unbreakable have trained their neurology to reframe pain as a tutor, not a verdict. Someone betrays your trust. Broken response, pain spirals. You ruminate. You become hypervigilant. The betrayal becomes a permanent lens through which you see the world. Unbreakable response, pain arrives. You acknowledge it. Then you extract the lesson embedded in the pain: I learned this person's actual nature. I learned I can survive betrayal. I learned my resilience. Then you integrate that knowledge into your operating system and move. The pain doesn't disappear. But it stops running the script. It becomes historical data, not present reality. Interactive test. Stop the video for 10 seconds and do this. Think of a situation right now where you're suffering. Ask yourself, are you suffering because of the situation itself, or because of the narrative you're telling yourself about the situation? Don't answer fast. Actually sit with that question. If you said the narrative, you're already thinking like the unbreakable. Most people can't make that distinction. They're too deep in the story. Resume. The anti-fragility trap. The blue pill lie. You've heard about resilience. Build it like a shield. Something external you construct. It's one of the most dangerous lies in psychology. Because resilience sounds like stability. And stability sounds like strength. It's neither. The red pill truth. There's something darker. More powerful. Anti-fragility. Resilience equals you absorb a hit and return to normal. Anti-fragility equals you absorb a hit and come back stronger because of it. The unbreakable aren't resilient. They're anti-fragile. And they achieve this through a specific psychological architecture. They've trained their mind to weaponize adversity. This is neurochemically real. Stress, when framed as a challenge rather than a threat, increases DHEA production, growth hormone, and decreases cortisol dysregulation. Your brain literally upgrades under the right narrative. Two athletes. Same injury. Athlete A, resilient mindset, I'll recover and get back to where I was. Athlete B, anti-fragile mindset, this injury is forcing me to rebuild my body's foundation. I'll come back better engineered. Athlete A returns to baseline. Athlete B returns beyond baseline. Same event. Different psychological architecture. The unbreakable seek friction. They court it. Because they've learned the terrifying truth, comfort and stagnation are the same psychological state. And degradation follows stagnation. They don't avoid pain. They optimize for it. The final warning. Here's what happens when you understand this. You realize that 99% of human suffering is optional. It's a choice. Not in a simple way. But in an architectural way. You chose the narrative. You chose the frame. You chose to stay in the identity of the broken. And that sounds empowering, doesn't it? It's terrifying. Because it means you can't blame the universe. You can't blame circumstances. You can't blame other people. You can only blame the architecture of your own mind. The unbreakable people you see, the ones who seem impossible to break, they're not lucky. They're not genetically superior. They've simply decided that self-pity is beneath them. That victimhood is a poverty mindset. And they've rewired their psychology to match that decision. You can do this too. But it requires you to admit something dark: you've been complicit in your own suffering. Not because you're evil. But because you were never taught the choice existed. Now you know. The question isn't whether you'll face adversity. You will. The question is, when it comes, will you integrate it or be integrated by it? Drop your answer in the comments below. Not the answer you think I want. The honest one. And if you felt something shift while watching this, if you felt the weight of your own agency settle into your chest, subscribe. Because we talk about the psychology they keep hidden. This is Sarah Brevale. Stay unbreakable.